Did you know that no is a very peaceful movement? Yep, totally peace. Let's talk about that today. Hi, I'm Kiran with Mystic Girl in the City, because just a little mystic advice can go a long way in your day. The beauty of boundaries, of no, is that we are actually formless. We're actually non-separate. In ultimate reality, you, what's looking out of your eyes right now, what's listening to my words right now, oneness, non-separate. And all of that oneness comes into forms, these unique and beautiful forms. And essential in that formation is a yes and a no. These are essential aspects of this unique movement of form. But it all depends on our ability to listen and express those yeses and those nos. So I don't mean a no or a yes from the me-go or your egoic or mental self. And you can tell those because every yes or every no has these storylines of what you're going to get out of them. You're going to get power or value or love or attention, and it's full of, if you just have this desire or push these desires away, you're going to get all this good stuff. That's the sign that you're in the me-goic movement, the me-go. But the actual authentic no or yes, which is where you actually look and listen to your being, to your heart, we could say, but to the overall being, what I often call the delicious yes, the sensation of exhale, where the body itself feels this connected, delicious exhale. That's a yes. Everything else is a no. That's an authentic yes or an authentic no, which is to say that delicious sensation of exhale, yes. When it's not there, maybe, I don't know. Let me think about it. Could be. Those are all ways to say no, because yes is simply this yes movement. But those no's are really valuable. No, that authentic no, is a boundary. Boundary is essential for the form to fulfill itself, which is to say, for you to feel fulfillment. Which is also to say, for the one, the vast formlessness, the oneness that you really are, for it to experience, for that oneness to have fulfillment. In all of form, we see these boundaries. They're an essential aspect of it. In your body, every single cell has a boundary necessary for it to fulfill its task. Each of the cells absorb nourishment or block anything that's going to be destructive, an essential aspect of form. And these boundaries continue. We have much more grand corporal boundaries, as if you have a separate body than me. Pretty cool. It means I can get up and walk away if something is perceived as destructive. I can absorb nourishment, but move away from destruction. We have psychological boundaries. Let's say our family has a really inappropriate intimacy or intimacy that can be destructive, that love is suffering at whatever levels of psychological movement that can be, and we all know that about our families. So we can create these psychological boundaries where we get to absorb the nourishment, the love, but block the destruction, the suffering. So the boundary is essential for the fulfillment of the form. Now, if we're working with spiritual values, boundaries are considered not so great. And generally the movement in the spiritual form is to empty yourself out. Empty yourself. Let go of it. The no is not honored. But I'm not a spiritual teacher. I'm a teacher of freedom and fulfillment. And that is way, way bigger territory. And inside of that freedom, which is accessible to you, boundaries are an essential aspect of that. So I'm going to invite you to get to know your authentic no, and I'm going to get you to practice it. Pull it out there and use it. Your body's using those boundaries all the time, resurrecting some physical boundaries and psychological boundaries are always going to be a movement that allows form to fulfill its functionality. Therefore, bringing fulfillment forward, therefore letting oneness and all that is, which is what you are, have this profound level of peace. It's a requirement for peace. So if you would like more tips and tools from me, just hit that subscribe button, and I will be back here with you next week to talk about, some really good stuff.